right. Lesson 70. We're making headway here. I'm once again without Justine. I'm probably gonna lose half of my followers. She's downstairs dancing with her father, and it's so cute because she likes to jump. She's learning how to jump. She can't jump, but it's so fun to watch her try. So, lesson 70. My salvation comes from me. And oh dear, crying. Okay. Okay, so we started the longer practice periods, and today it's 2 of those. So I've done one, I will do another one, and I noticed that we're being coached to deepen our practice. We're being asked, it's funny because the wording is, we will still let you decide when to undertake them. I'm like, thank you. It's like, for now, you still get to decide when you're doing them, but I have a sense later we won't get the choice. And the instruction is to do your best to decide when you'll do them in advance and then follow through on that. And that's so interesting. That's its own journey for me. And I did not predetermine when I would do it. I did it when I could. So I'm still learning. I'm still catching up to the standard with patience and acceptance. So that's good. So in the longer practice period, repeating the idea for today, my salvation comes from me. And then allow related thoughts to come at first. And if I can't recall my exact related thought when I did this, but what comes to me, and it is the same, is like this entire world is coming from me, so therefore my salvation of it also comes from me. So it just gave me that feeling of being the director, the projector, the source of my life experience. So and then we were to devote a few minutes to reviewing the external places where we have in the past tied our salvation to. And what came to me, because as I relate to the word salvation, I related it to being my happiness and like the sense of relief from my fear. I think she's trying to come upstairs. So what came to me, where I have looked for this salvation in the past, is in my relationships, and specifically just to receive love, especially romantic relationships, especially my current husband. Like when we were dating, it was just so important to me that we were doing okay, and it was as if my whole world was contingent on how that relationship was going. And I kind of, put my happiness in that. So it's evolving, of course, because Spirit's helping evolve my whole life. But in the past, I've put my salvation there. And the other thing that was kind of coming in, whether it was conflating the thing, like kind of confusing it, was kind of my sense of security. And what came to my mind was like just feeling like, okay, yes, for sure, we've got whatever we need, we've got it covered. And so again, I think what it shows me is I've just been so immersed in the world that I'm not necessarily always focusing on the salvation of my soul, the salvation of my spirit. I've been focused in the game of the world and trying to win, which is very fascinating that that's coming through, because I'm seeing that. I've just said that about someone else that's not me, I'm like, oh, they're really caught up in the game of life. And once again, we're one with everything. So after you name a few places where you've put your salvation, you are to tell yourself, my salvation can't come from any of these things. It comes from me and only me. And then we reach the light in us where the salvation is, and it's that same sense of removing the clouds. What came to me often as like synonymous to this lesson and what it's telling us about how we're responsible for everything, including our salvation, is the Byron Katie teachings and it's not just her teachings, it's other people teach it in different ways, but it's not anything in the world that's bothering us, it's our thoughts about it. So we can be free no matter the circumstance, it's just how we think of it, how we think of what we're seeing, experiencing. And it's interesting because in certain cases, I don't argue against that. I'm like, yes, that's definitely true. And I've had a few things come up. Even when I was washing the dishes tonight, I was thinking, okay, so my salvation comes from me. In a situation like, the children at the borders who are being withheld or being taken from their families and their parents, I kind of thought about that because I have a soft spot for, even when my daughter is upset when I'm not with her, I'm learning how to, that feels like a separation that I'm learning how to experience and place properly in my mind and how to hold it in my mind. But that I could still feel free and at peace no matter what I'm seeing, even something that feels very deeply that I have an attachment to or I have a sensitivity to. So it's interesting because normally my mind doesn't always throw these exceptions toward me and try to be like, really? Well, what about this? But it kind of did that. But I think it's just really taking this lesson to say, my salvation comes from me. And this world can be very insane looking. And I don't want to put my salvation in this world. And likely whatever is going on, if I choose to bless the situation and ask for guidance, I can still be at peace because I'm fulfilling my function in that moment. And it's not that I'm happy in terms of like exuberantly, outburstingly happy if other people appear to be struggling, but I'm happy to be in my function, blessing and praying. And so then my salvation is really secure, and because I'm in my function. So you get, so it's just kind of going through a few things in my mind that were coming up, and shorter practice periods. I loved what it said. It said, you are free from all external interference. You're in charge of your salvation and the salvation of the world. Nothing outside of me can hold me back. Within me is the world's salvation. And it's so true, because when you're blessing and in your function, you're at peace. And so where else could you be that would be more helpful? So anyway, thanks for listening. I swear Justine will be back. And tomorrow, only God's plan for salvation will work. Keep rocking it. Thank you.